everybody, it is the Sseninde Monthly Roundup. We are so delighted that you could actually make the time to join us this afternoon. Well, the month of August has actually been full of a lot of things, but I'm going to be telling you all those things in this afternoon. My name is Priscilla and I am your host. And as we start off the journey, it's been 2 months. Seriously, 2 months. In those 2 months, we have achieved a lot of things. Why am I holding a plant in my hand? Well, because of an analogy that I want to introduce you to. This is actually soil, and this is something that has germinated out of the soil. For the 2 months, we planted our Sseninde United project into the soil, and it has germinated. And these are actually representations of the achievements that we have had as Sseninde in just the month of August. Not one, not two, not three. So many of them. Well, stick around because I'm going to be giving you all the achievements in the month of August. But remember, we would like you to be a part of this journey as we continue into September. So go onto your platform where you are watching me from right now. If it's Facebook, just click like and be able to follow us as social media. And that is Sseninde United Limited. On Twitter, still Sseninde United Limited. Be able to follow us and we will continue giving you more of what we are all about. Equally in YouTube, you have tuned into our YouTube channel, which is Sseninde United Limited. Click subscribe and you can get more of what our journey is actually growing into. On Instagram, we love our Instagrammers, yes, and please do follow us equally on Instagram. Let's get started.
I said don't think about it. Came up as a church.
It's still a Sseninde United Monthly Roundup. The month of August has surely been so much. Mouthful of things that we have achieved as Sseninde. Now let me tell you some of our achievements. First of all, where do I start from? Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to go back all the way to July. At the end of July, we came up with what is known as the Sseninde United Monthly Roundup, which gave you a full board of what we are all about, including our 5-part programs. And then that introduced us to the Sseninde United weekly roundups that have been running every single week. And upon those, you have been able to subscribe with us. And as we speak, we have 4,000 and counting subscribers across our social media platforms. Sseninde United Limited on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. May I say thank you so much for your subscription. It goes a long way to actually spread our message. Together, we have actually shown, because of you becoming our fans, we started a fans calendar. And the fans calendar is basically us putting our events out there public. You get to know where we are and what we are all about in the month of August. Now, speaking about events, we have had so many events. First of all, we had the development programs continuing in our communities, and we had the Sseninde United Community Drive, upon which we were actually realizing that we need partners, we need extra hands to do this. And so while we gave out to the community, gave them development programs, and also gave them things, tangible things, just to take care of the nitty-gritties for the daily, we also had to come up with partners. We called upon the JSU district coordinators. You signed up, you became a coordinator. It's been so much fun having you as a coordinator for the month of August. If you've not yet signed up for coordinator, well, I think it's going to be awesome to be a part of such a developmental team. So you can actually sign up. I'll let you know how you can sign up later on. Then we had what was known as the Sseninde Community Drive continuing. Now, this drive had us visiting Lady Doves. Lady Doves is a football club for women, and it's going to be participating in the CAF Champions League regional qualifiers, which are happening in Kenya. We're rooting for them. Lady Doves, go make the region proud. And we gave them what you shared with us, and we encouraged them to actually go represent the region. Later on, we had the CPD, not the Chicago Police Department. series? No, it's known as the Continuous Professional Development Program, in which we had a coaches training in the month of August. 60 coaches signed up, and we had mentors from the UK actually coming through and sharing with them about philosophy and how to come up with your own philosophy. A testimonial we shall be later getting on. Then we also had the Sseninde membership subscribers. Oh, thank you so much for having become a member in the month of August. If you haven't, trust you me, by the end of this video, you will subscribe to membership. Our merchandise sold in the month of August. We've actually sold a lot of merchandise, all because of you. Thank you so much. We also had the Sseninde United Safety Corner. In our safety corner, we have been able to tackle things that affect the girl child. We've had to talk about breast cancer. We've had to talk about COVID-19, which you and me are experiencing. And because of COVID-19, people have actually been going through mental illness. And in August, we addressed mental health. And later on, we're going to be hearing from two former Crested Crane players about how they struggled with mental health, but nevertheless, they overcame. Those have been our achievements in the month of August. Whew, a mouthful, I know, right? Well, so you have had our achievements, and those have been very few achievements. It's not one, it's not two, it's not three, but ngomuganda wagamba kamu kamu gwe muganda, to mean that where two or three gather, things can actually get to be done. Now, we do have a team that has actually made all of our achievements possible. We've had the Sseninde United team, as well as the Sseninde Foundation staff that have made an amazing contribution to all the achievements that we have just talked about. Allow me to mention just a few names. Jean, thank you so much for actually being an awesome team leader. We do have people like Elvis, we do have Bridget, Shamix, Angela, we do have David, Bridget. Thank you so much, the entire team. They say mwebalenyo. They say it in Swahili, asante sana. Well, the French can also go ahead and say merci. We are so grateful for all your efforts, all the time, all the creativity, and all the energy that you are putting in bringing this to a reality. Because at the end of the day, our hashtag is plain and simple. Together we shine, and we intend to shine, not just for August, but for the rest of life. We continue with the Sseninde United Monthly Roundup. The month of August has been so juicy, but you may be wondering, where did it all begin from? Rumor has it, from what I heard with my ears, is that it all started in a high school. Some girls wanted to play football. They didn't have a coach. They found themselves a forward coach, and then later on they went ahead to play football. And one of them has played professional football all the way into UK. That is where it's rumored to have started from. Our general manager, Miss Angela, is going to be talking to us about how it all began. Where was JSU born? She answers that question. Hi Angela. Hi Priscilla, how are you? Very good. So delighted to have you with us here on the Sseninde Weekly Roundup. Angela is our general manager. Everything Sseninde United, everything Sseninde United, consultancy, football club, Red Ant, anything. She has been there from inception, and today we are hosting her to find out where it all started from, and also give us a report on what we actually talked about last week. Now, last week we talked about the CPD, which is the Continuous Professional Development Program, not the CPD that you watch in the series, which is Chicago Police Department. Not that one. Yes. So, Angela, let's start right from the beginning. Where does this whole concept of actually enabling and helping support women in football start from?
Okay, I can go back to 2016. We held the Sseninde Women's Cup. That was the first foot in women's football. So we had a one-day tournament where different teams come on board who were Dinapa. And Zambia, which is no longer exists for good reason. I know. So it was Jim sat down, and she was just amazed by the experience she has had in England, and she wanted to give back to these children who've been playing football for many years. And so she felt that there are so many other girls that want to play but don't have the opportunities. This would be one of the areas that will have opportunities. So we did several editions. We had 4 of them. Of course, the fifth was interrupted by COVID. We couldn't have it, that was last year. but the 4 were very successful. We had in Kampala, we had in Barara, and all of them I can say that they were successful. And most of the girls that participated, they went to bigger clubs, they got scholarships, they went to big institutions, education ones, they got bursaries. So beyond that, we were running it alongside the foundation activities. The foundation is skilling the women, especially in location district. Most of the activities were there. Skilling them with non-formal skills. So there was tailoring, bakery, briquette making. So we were trying to incorporate those to when we do the skilling. We also try to bring on the sports on board because there are different talents that people have. Everyone is talented in a different field. So we did that for some years, but in 2021, actually, just a little, I should just say this. One of our big dreams is to have one is to have a facility.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Continue, I like this dream.
yeah, we first had the dream of the academy way back. But in 2021, we sat down and we started organizing something to bring so many things together. Basically, there's no company that brings professional football services, especially when it comes to the women. Yeah. So in 2021, this year, we took on all the efforts to register a company. So the company is having 5 arms. Yeah. One is having the academy. The academy has under 10, under 15, and under 17. And then another is, so what these children that come from the academy, we want to grow them into the senior team. Yeah. And we have to have the senior team participate in the national league as well as other competitions. However, you don't just jump like that. So we give ourselves so it's not like someone is going to develop in 1 year. So after 2 years, we shall be having a senior team and then we participate. So everyone should just look out for it.
Which means you get to sign up for the Red Arts Academy, and the sign-ups are available right now. Just go over to all our social Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Sseninde United Monthly. Get signed up, or just send us a little bit of a DM. You can just tag us, and then we'll be able to get in touch with you.
Yeah, so those are 2 arms, and the other arm, and everything is still is football players. We also want to be an agency for them. There are so many talented ones, but there are not good chance to go to other scouting. Yes. This week I think I saw something about Juliet Nalupenge. Yeah, she's
getting big.
yeah, so that's good for her. But now we want to be the link to these girls because when we organized these tournaments, it was we're almost leaving them in space. We're giving them the platform there, they get scouted, then at some point we're not completing the whole cycle. So we want to complete the cycle, have them the tournaments, and then get scouted by others. And also get connections for them to those other teams that are different clubs. So agency is one of the apps that is for Sseninde United. We shall be able to make connections for them. Team is also well connected as well. So we're going to talk to different stakeholders who can help out these girls. And we're also looking at event management. We organize our events.
You've organized them.
Yeah. So
we have experience that we expect from it, right?
and obviously it's football events. We did that. So in case anyone wants to go to football events, it can be anything.
So just for clarity's sake, I know people have heard so much about this event organization at home in Sseninde United. But does it mean that it's limited to the JSU things that we do, or is it open to anyone who's actually interested in organizing a tournament and we aid them with the tools?
Anyone interested, we want to help as much as possible. So in case someone wants to organize a tournament, or it can even be awards, football awards, so they can approach us. We have a team that is
Finally, the Women's Football Awards coming up anytime soon. Watch the space.
Definitely. So we shall be doing event management, and then another thing we shall be doing is the consultancy. We've worked on different strategies. I remember I don't know if you followed the tech flight in Uganda. That's how we are in the Super League and the elite league. And then there's also the South Sudan. They had their first league last year, and it was very successful. We're also looking forward to working with other organizations. So with consultancy, we mainly look at the strategy formulation, implementation plan, everything concerning that. But still, I would say it's specific football. That's why we specialize focus on football strategies, football implementation plans, anything. Anyone is stuck, please let us know. Just give us a call. Send us that email. We shall be there. We shall work on it. So I'll just go through the arms. It's academy, the senior team, consultancy, event management, and agency.
They fit on your 5 fingers, on your one arm. Yes, so last week we had a call to action for coaches to actually sign up for the continuous coaching program, development program that we had. And on Wednesday this week that we just thrown to the back, we had an interesting session, over 50 sign-ups in attendance on that Zoom meeting, and a lot of this stuff, a lot of this share. We want to make it more.
This was our first event at Sseninde United. It was very successful, like I said. We had our first meeting at Sseninde. She's from England. She's attached to the England FA. She's an influencer. Actually, she had been to the UEFA League license. She facilitated her, so she was very excited to see that, Jane is understanding what exactly. So we had over 50 coaches from Uganda who attended, and who are very excited.
We had 50 coaches. How many of them were women?
There were around 10. There were very few.
10 women, yeah, 50 men, 40 men signing up. That's still good.
Yeah, so most of them were coaching boys teams. Yeah, few of them were dealing with girls. But at least we had most of the coaches in the elite league. They were part of it. In Super League, they were also there. So at least it shows that people want to grow. People want to see this game getting better.
They want to embrace bringing professionality to the game.
Exactly. So the topic was developing a philosophy. Definitely, for years, some of those coaches what realized they did not even have any philosophy in their coaching, and they couldn't appreciate it with so many other things, like playing style. There are so many questions to ask. It was supposed to last like 1 hour, but it was 2 hours. They really did. It was well. That's what I can say. And a lot of that.
And have you engagement after that with some of these coaches? What did they get?
Yeah, we had the chance to talk to some of them after some of them had listened. So they were very excited. They were happy that they received all that information. They didn't know about some things, but now they are asking for more of this session. We shall be having a series of them, so definitely there's another session that will come through study. So we shall be letting you know of the next.
This is Sseninde United. Together we shine, man.
It's still the Sseninde United Monthly newsletter. My name is Priscilla, and now just to let you know that we have been continuously creating things that actually do help the community, and most recently we added to our initiatives the Sseninde United Safety Corner. What's a safety corner? This is where we come together with people who are struggling with particular issues that actually affect the girl child, such as breast cancer, COVID-19, which is our current pandemic that we are all facing, be it a boy, be it a girl. But in the month of August, we focused on mental health. Did you know in Africa, Uganda comes in number 6 in African countries that actually is dealing with mental disorders? And did you know just in Uganda, about 5.1% of females suffer from mental disorders? Well, at JSU Safety Corner, we did have a dialogue in this regard, and we talked about mental wellness. Eating well contributes to your mental wealth. Finding someone to actually trust actually also does contribute to your mental health. And we talked about these things in broad perspective. Let's listen to 2 of former Crested Crane players who went through mental disorders and they have overcome. Here is their testimony.
Christine Wanyana is my name. I'm an ex-player. I'm a coach at the moment. I love working with young children and I love seeing the young ones develop, and I'm also a junior coach instructor who is into implementing my skills and selling my skills to other coaches so that they can make themselves better when it comes to the coaching career.
But of course, what we have in common is playing football, and yeah, she coaches more than me because she's obviously experienced. Trying to juggle in between coaching, administration, whatever. Basically, a lot of things. But what we've come here to talk about is mental health, a subject that so many people ignore. Yet we've heard of people who have lost their lives. And for us as former people who have played on the national team but also played the game, we want to sensitize different people, and mostly, of course, people in the sports industry who may not get opportunities to know about such subjects because no one talks about them, especially in Uganda. Probably people think when you talk about mental health, you actually mentor yourself. So, starting with you, Christine, anyway, what was that one time you felt like you were just to the breaking point and you feel like people should know about it, but it will also be a learning curve for someone else? During my playing time, I did not feel or I did not experience any mental aspect in my life. But unfortunately, during my life, I've had a relationship that broke, and it has really disturbed me a lot to the extreme of even giving up on life. It's like I was like, I cannot be here. Why would I be here? First thing I thought of was taking poison and let myself go. I was like, I don't want to deal with anyone else. I just want to be indoors. I don't want to see anyone else, and I don't want to be involved with any other person's life. So I think that's the biggest moment that really disturbed me mentally, and I felt like giving up on me. And for you personally, how did you deal with it?
First thing, I won't say it was easy to deal with. It was very hard because going out with people, and it's the people that would really get over everything. But the fact that I had closed myself indoors, I thought I was a bit limited. So I think I was helped in a way that I loved sports. Sometimes I would just move into the pitch, do things, and then every time I would be alone, I would really feel like I don't deserve to live. But again, the more I got in touch, or I got close to different people, giving different ideas, and then different discussions. I won't say I met any counselor or what, but I had people who were there for me, and they would always talk to me, this and this and this. Well, with this, you feel better. So I had friends who were always there for me to see that everything was back to normal. But it was not hard. It wasn't easy. Let's say it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I can imagine. And like when we talk about mental health, for me personally, it's like I never even got to know that it's some real thing. Like I just had conversations before, or sensitization actually on social media, and I'm like, oh, okay, mental health exists, okay, like you brush it off because you're thinking, okay, like it's not you at that point. But for me, I feel like it first happened to me when I decided to kind of give up my career and come back to Uganda to help with the development of women's football. Of course, decided to work with the federation, and you know how the whole thing came about with the tech flight, and somehow I was like, I was kind of ready to give up those 2 years that I was going to work with the federation, and I'm like, yeah, women's football all the way. And I was kind of disappointed with how everything like turned out, in a way that I felt like not really the top management of the federation, but the members who are working in the federation itself were not supportive. It's like the pace at which they were working is like, somehow I felt like they're not even interested in the game itself. They're not interested in working. I felt like people were actually there to fill up spaces and people were not really working. So somehow I was like, I've given up everything, I've come to do something for the women. And I felt bad because I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to be seen as someone who gives up on something that I've decided to start, actually, of course, with the management as well. So it was a bit heartbreaking. I think what broke my heart wasn't the fact that I had to give it up. What broke my heart was the fact that I felt like we were going to actually move one step further. And everything we had started, I felt like it was quite exciting, and somehow I felt like I was disappointing everyone we had done with the launching of the whole. So I was so disappointed, and of course sometimes I look back and I'm like, that moment was one of course the worst. Of course I had to give it up because I'm like, what's the whole point? And it really hurt me. And I think what hurt me was, like I mentioned, disappointing everyone. And I'm like, I shouldn't have given up, because people will be like, you should have stayed and kept fighting. But it's so hard to fight in this moment, because you can't fight a journey or a war when you can't be alone in a war, really. You need people around you to fight with you, you know? And I felt like I was alone at that point. Of course, playing at that point, I'm like, I've given up playing just to do this as well. So it was, I went back home. Of course, I wanted to be alone. Imagine, for me, I treasure coming back home because it's like most of the time I'm away from home. So it's like my dad is there, my parents are there, and I'm locking myself in the room. I don't want to speak to anybody. And these are actually the signs, that this is actually mental health. You don't want to speak to anyone. You're like
angry. Simple things are making you angry.
You're angry. You just want to cry. And it was so many other things had been building up to that point. So it's like, I felt like I was at the breaking point, and that carried on kind of. I never healed from that, or like it kept on reoccurring in a way that, however down I felt, I managed to speak to someone, and I felt like everything got a lot better. And luckily that person was like a doctor. So, and of course somehow like a stranger at that point. So I'm like, I wanted to release my anger to someone who won't judge me, who won't like be like, okay, now these people, like, So I felt like a big weight had come off my shoulders, and I didn't even want to go back to the UK at that point, because I felt like I just wanted to remain in my own bubble. I felt sick, actually, like I really.
Of course you feel sick because you disturbed in your brains. Of course you're gonna get sick.
I felt like a real patient, and that point I felt like I had been healed. I've never given birth, but it feels like I had given birth at that point. So honestly, but when I went back to the UK, I think that kept on kind of torturing me, because I saw the effects of what happened. It's like you're thinking, okay, we've launched a strategy, but nothing is being done about it. It's like, and everything else besides that really came after it, it's like it kind of tortured me for quite some long time. And when I came back here, I was like, okay, like I stayed alone, and here I live alone, so it made matters worse. I don't want to do anything. I didn't want to even wake up and shower, or to wake up and do anything. Literally, I was ordering food every single day because I didn't even want to cook. I was literally, the longest distance I did was from my bed to the door to collect delivery and back in the bed. Back in the bed. Like, someone could listen and think this is ridiculous, but that is how bad like it was. So how did I deal with it? At that point it was difficult already, because anyway, the fact that I had spoke to someone before, it made it better, but I gave myself time, and of course I had to kind of readjust, and I'm like, this is over, this is gone. And I was convinced that this is not what I want to do. I want to work with people who are cooperative and I continued kind of making my brain to realize that this opportunity wasn't actually the one for me. So, and also to realize that there is so many other opportunities that will come along that will even be much better. So I just kept praying about it again. So yeah, and maybe once then I started like going out again to have a walk, exercise, and like it took quite a long time to heal, but I feel like once I healed, and yeah, thankfully I even got the South Sudan role at that point. Or after some time, so I'm like, yeah, to hell with
So
it, you like,
one that took the whole stress away.
yeah. So yeah, actually for me, I came to realize that mental health, once you suffer from it, it doesn't completely go away. You have to continue working at it, and you have to continue like speaking to people. You can't keep things in, because the more you keep them in, the more it builds up, and it makes it a longer healing process. So yeah, I'm just glad that I feel much better now. And you know, it took so much out of me. I lost so much, and at the end of the day, anyway, I have no regrets. You learn from it, and
Yeah. A lesson. Yeah.
Mm.
I think I didn't know you were going through such an experience by the time it all happened.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tell so many people, to be honest. It was as bad as I've even like talked about right now. It was 10 times worse. It's like one of the worst moments. And you know, even my parents used to come there like, what's wrong? Like, you can't talk at that point. You're like, just leave me, you know, get out of
Yeah,
there.
I understand. It's not a mental thing. I think we're not supposed to take it as a simple thing, because there are so many people that go through these moments, but they don't know how they're supposed to deal with the whole thing. They don't know where they're supposed to run. They don't know how they're supposed to get back to normal. Like, you get confused and you don't know what to do, and you think the least thing you can do is to close yourself in the dark, and that's a solution. But what you sense, I think getting down or putting yourself together and go out is a much better thing, because you get to see different sides, different. So when you look at the environment, when you look at the people around you, as long as it's not the same people that cause the harm to your health. So there's a way people or society brings up this kind of happiness, this kind of joy that really sometimes you find yourself fitting in a situation, like when you go watch matches, you just watch one skill and you feel like you're really getting back to normal. But I think it's not the best thing to close yourself inside, but I think talking to someone is really very important, or getting out. Like you said, you had a walk. Yes, of course, when you move out of the dark and get into the light, most times things are not the same. So it's like when you block yourself inside, the whole brain is closed, and the only thing you have in the head is what happened to you that caused the real damage. But when you move out, you get to open your mind with different things around you.
Yeah.
So it's a very important chapter that needs to be taken for serious, because when we look at football coaching and whatever, we look at the psychological part, which is very ignored. I don't know which way we coach it, but I think it's a very delicate part, and it is supposed to be taken serious when it comes to sports personalities or activities.
Yeah, and actually it makes people quit the game, like in case people didn't know, because see the love that I had to personally help my country, that I was ready to even quit. You know,
I almost gave up on coaching because of the same thing. I thought I would be somewhere because of having achieved everything, but I wasn't given the chance. And I can tell you, even today, I think you know it very well, that you're forcing me into the coaching thing, and I'm like kind of quitting and just going into something else. But because of the belief most people have for me, it's like I'm still there, but I'm not so much interested that they were used to love the whole thing, because of maybe another stress that came in when it comes to the sport itself. But life goes on as long as you're somewhere, you accept it and go on.
You know, and also like when people see other people like on the road or somewhere, like just try to be kind to those people and also mind the things you tell them. Like because someone may be going through mental health and you just kind of tell them something and it triggers their point for them to kill themselves, or for them to give up something, or for them to even give up on life. Like you just have to be kind to people, because like for me, I remember that point, like especially when I came back, because I mean when I was home it's kind of different because your parents are there. Even if you lock yourself in, they're going to come and force
Yes,
the door
they are
open,
concerned.
you know?
Yeah.
But here I'm alone, the rules are my rules, so it's like I stayed indoors, I can even say more than a month, like literally more than a month. Imagine what happened to someone, and you know how we are all different, you know? It's like imagine a whole, well, close to more than 3 weeks of just in there sad, and
That
you can't comprehend what's
a
going
big
on.
period of time to be alone.
Exactly, and imagine that whole month I wasn't training, I was just literally ordering food, delivery, and sleep. Yeah, and it's not like I wouldn't want. It's like even the days I wouldn't eat, I'm like, yeah, like maybe
Okay.
that could also make you feel better. Or maybe you're going to just sleep. Maybe some days you sleep hungry and then you wake up, but literally there is nothing else to do because I didn't want to watch any movies. I didn't want to do anything. I was just processing the whole thing, the
I
whole,
understand.
like trying to be like, how can
Why?
you
Why?
fix something
Why?
and then
Why?
disappoint?
Why? Why? How?
And I spoke to other people before even quitting, and they're like, "Don't quit, because when you quit, those people will be happy and celebrate that, yeah, you know, and it's their happiness." But at that point, I was like, "What can you do? What can you do? Like, you can't push a tree when other people are pulling it away." And imagine for that launching, we had called Sarai, we had called Kaf, you know, so all those people were aware of what's going on, and all of a sudden I'm thinking they are going to look and be like, imagine you wrote something and now you're giving up, like, oh, and it wasn't even that, but also the judgment, because you can't, in a way, you know, in Uganda, when you say something about the federation, it's like you're attacking the federation. People won't understand everything else that's inside unless they're actually inside. I didn't want to be seen as someone who is attacking a federation, because I wasn't even attacking a federation, you know. So it was like really incredibly hard. I felt like this, like honestly, it's like I even started gaining weight that whole point, you know. And probably people are looking at you, oh, why are you growing fat? Like they don't even know what you're going through at that point, really. It's like, you know, because we are all different. And I'm like, well, and you know, it's just, anyway, the whole point just changed everything around for me. And you know, it's a small thing to someone else, but it actually affects someone like completely, and it changes their whole life.
It affects some. Though on the other side, it also changes you into a different person, an important person to some. If you follow the right directions, if you maybe being handled by the right people, you're gonna go into a better position. But when you really get result and get negative, let's say casting, or you give a negative ideas on whatever is going on, you find yourself becoming again someone who is over a less importance to what you've been doing. For example, if you had that thing and you did not have that person who was like, you have to keep going. If you give up, these people are going to think that they've won the whole battle, they've really stepped on you and they put you down. So the fact that you had people who would really put you up and then encourage you and motivate you, and you pushed it on, and actually when you look at what you're doing now, I think you're inspiring 1 million girls in Uganda and maybe worldwide. And I would say I think I've never told you this, I'll just say I'm proud of what you're becoming, because when I first met you, just a simple and small girl, and now you're becoming a big person, and like, okay. So that's it. Sometimes you become good, sometimes you become bad compared to the kind of people you talk to or the kind of people you talk to.
Yeah, anyway, like you said, probably things happen for a reason again, because probably I look back and if I had decided to stay, I would probably be in there, shut it down, and I can't speak as much as I am always like talkative and say what I want, and So I don't know, I guess it all just worked out, but yeah, at that point it wasn't easy. It changed everything that I was doing. It's like now, after that whole time, like going back to training didn't make sense. I felt like I couldn't run, I felt like I couldn't do anything, like everything was just, all I can say anyway, it affected my whole life, that's all. But again, it's
For
God's
the
plan.
good. Maybe it did for the good.
Probably.
Yeah, it gave you a reason to work harder than you had even worked.
Yeah. So that was my experience, but we thank God that not many people actually get people to speak to, and we did. So yeah.
Another only thing I can say is that no one should take anything concerning mental health simple. It is something that needs to really be handled on a very fast stage, because it's really, I think it's a reason to every place or every position everyone is in at the moment. Some people are broken completely, some people keep moving, but every time you feel depressed, every time you feel you're really disturbed, just know you need to talk to someone, or you need to move out there. Don't lock yourself, don't give up, don't let go of your dreams, don't let go of anything, but you have to keep pushing. Could be in a different direction, but there's no time to quit.
Yeah, honestly, I've also learned a lot, like from you and your story. It was quite inspiring. Well, on top of all the other inspiring things you do. But yeah, honestly, I would encourage everyone, talk about it with someone, and also be kind to other people, because you don't know what they are going through. Just mind the comments you're giving to them, because you don't know why they are what they are. Because I look back and I see how people used to comment on this, or you're that, or you're that. Like, I'm like, okay, yes, I know I am, but you know, I know I have a reason why, but you can't just really talk to everyone about what you're going through. So yeah, just be kind and talk about it. Yeah, walk around, exercise, eat healthy, and basically just try to do small things, because we know it's not easy.
Just make sure you keep busy. Don't allow these things to come back into your mind, because they always torture you in whichever situation they'll get back to you, because you're not gonna forget now. They'll always come back to you, and the only thing you do is cry, shut yourself out, shut yourself down, and to limit you to any steps you feel like you need to reach when it comes to your life.
Yeah, surely. So thanks everyone. We hope you learned from our story, and we know that we are going to beat mental health together. Yeah,
Sure. All right.
Amazing things we have talked about in the month of August. It's been epic. The achievements that we've had, the testimonials that you've had, the futures that we shared during the course of the month from our different fans, and all of you that have subscribed and joined the cause. At the end of the day, we want to bring football closer to the girl child, and we want to bring it in a professional manner, which is what we do as a 5-part organization at Sseninde United. Now, you want more information about JSU? It's very simple. Go to our website www.sseninde.unitedltd.com and you'll get all the information you want. Still on the same website, you can subscribe and become a member, one-time member, monthly member, or annual member. It's entirely up to you. We'll still appreciate you nevertheless. We also are going to be having our merchandise online on the website, so you can go to our merchandise shop, purchase your merchandise. It can be with your card or it can be with mobile money. Whatever option is okay with you, we are okay with it, and we'll deliver. Amazing things we have talked about in the month of August. It's been epic. The achievements that we've had, the testimonials that you've had, the futures that we shared during the course of the month from our different fans, and all of you that have subscribed and joined the cause. At the end of the day, we want to bring football closer to the girl child, and we want to bring it in a professional manner, which is what we do as a 5 heart organization at Sseninde United. Now, you want more information about JSU? It's very simple. Go to our website www.sseninde.unitedltd.com and you'll get all the information you want. Still on the same website, you can subscribe and become a member, one-time member, monthly member, or annual member. It's entirely up to you. We'll still appreciate nevertheless. We also are going to be having our merchandise online on the website, so you can go to our merchandise shop, purchase your merchandise. It can be with your card or it can be with mobile money. Whatever option is okay with you, we are okay with it, and we'll deliver. I will say this reminds me of the times in school when we used to look for big cups to actually take porridge. Well, it's the Sseninde merchandise, and as you know, we must actually let you know how cool our merchandise is. This is a tee with the Sseninde logo. We have it in every color that you would like. It has green, it has red, it has black, it has white, it has blue. Just make your color selection and we'll deliver it at your doorstep. It goes for 25,000 shillings. The gentlemen here, don't they look awesome? I do love how they are actually putting on the hoodies. The hoodies are for 55,000 shillings, and my goodness, the feeling of that hoodie, the feeling is it's just so nice on the skin, and you can see they're posing there. So we do have the mug that also goes for 40,000 shillings and the cup that goes for 20,000 shillings. And you can find these on our store, online store, which is at www.sseninde.unitedltd.com. Press onto the merchandise store and you'll be able to get any of these, and you don't have to worry. You can pay online and we deliver to your location. Even if you're in the UK, yes, we can deliver. So you can find that merchandise anywhere, even on our social media platforms across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You will be able to find the merchandise. Click on the one you like and then send us a DM. We give you mobile money payment options or Visa payment options. You get your payment done and we get the delivery done to you. After all, together we are shining. Hashtag the red ants in the hood. On our social media platforms, Sseninde United Limited, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Subscribe and continue to follow the good cause. It's been a pleasure being in your company until September monthly roundup. We'll see you next week in September with our weekly roundup. Au revoir, goodbye, and thank you so much.
Yeah, every day that's you and me. All day that's us, boo. Came through with that new thing. See, I don't know why I trust you. Crazy now, I'm just too on. Maybe now I'm just too gone. Maybe now I'm just looking for that same vibe that you on. Cause I'm out here with my boys, going crazy in this bitch. Overseas, getting bins.